My name is Free Knit. Last time I taught how to make a scarf, and today I want to teach you how to make good use of yarn leftovers. After knitting maybe a scarf like I taught the other time, or maybe a sweater, you are left with small pieces of yarn like this one or this one. Instead of throwing them away, you can make good use of them, and I want to teach you how to make hair clip from yarn leftovers. A hair clip like this one that is on my head. This can be an ideal gift. You can make a hair clip and gift someone. So I want to get to the first step towards making such a hair clip, and the first step is casting on. Casting on means making the first step towards knitting, or rather making the first step, and you do it by making a loop like that, and then you insert the knitting needle and then you tighten like that. We have made our first stitch. After that, you hand to stitches, you cast on more stitches, and this time this is how you cast on the stitches like that, like that, like that, like that. We are yarning into the index finger, and then you put like that. We've made our first stitches, the first row we've casted on. Then you knit onto your stitches like that. You said knitting is inserting the second needle, and then you wrap the yarn, and then you release this other side like that, like that, like that. You can see we are just using a few stitches because what we are knitting is not very big. So you knit this other side like that. You insert the needle, wrap the yarn, and pull backwards. Insert the needle, pull backwards. Wrap the yarn that way, and then you pull backwards. You insert the needle and pull backwards, and then you release. Yeah, can now be faster. You are free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Free Knit, for these and more tutorials in knitting. Knitting is quite enjoyable, and it is an ideal way of spending your leisure time. You can see there is progress in our work. What we are knitting today is quite small, and it is a easy knit tutorial. So that is our first stage. We have knitted something very little because this is what we are intending to have. So the next step is ending the stitches, and as I showed you, you end the stitches this way. You insert the needle, wrap the yarn, and then that way, instead of releasing, you turn the yarn that way and knit another stitch. So we've ended one. As we begin a new row, you end a stitch, then you move on and complete your row. We want to add another stitch this way. You knit, and then you turn the yarn and wrap like that, and then you knit. So we started with the 6 stitches, and now we want to add to have 10. We've added another one, so we need to check and see how many stitches that we've got. These are small thing we need just 10 stitches. So this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So 10 stitches are enough for what we are doing. We are knitting. So after adding to get 10, we just knit a few more rows like that. Maybe here I can knit faster. Continue knitting. Knitting is repetitive, but it is nice. So you can approximate by counting. This is garter stitch. This stitch that is forming there is called garter stitch. You can count the rows that we formed in that pattern. 1 2 3 4. Maybe we can add another row. I mean another row here in that pattern. You add another one. You knit on. You can see this is 1 2 3 4 5 rows of your garter stitches. So the last step we are already casting off. Casting off is getting your work off the needles as we complete the pattern. Here this is where we are in this hair clip. So you cast off by knitting 2 stitches together like that. As you begin a row, you knit 2 stitches together, then you move on or you knit on. In a short while we will be having a very nice hair clip. As you begin the row, you cast off by knitting 2 stitches together. So we are casting off gradually, slowly by slowly. We are casting off to make our hair clip. From 10, now we have 4 stitches, and after this row you'll be left with 3. We have 3 2 1, and we have 1. We are done with that side. So you cast off fully, you separate the yarn with a pair of scissors, and then you tighten it that way. So that's what we have. We've made the first side. So to make the second side, you pick stitches from here, and that is how you do it. Like that, like that. Sorry. You pick the stitches like that, and then this end is where we had begun. We fix it or we attach it to the other side of the yarn. You tie like that. Like that. You can trim a bit so that you can make a fine edge like that, and then you knit on like that. You can see we have picked, this is what we have. We have picked the stitches, and we've begun the second side. with the 6 stitches. So like we did the other side, we need to end the stitches from 6, and I said this is how you had you knit, and then instead of releasing, you wrap the yarn that way, and then you knit another one like that. We have picked 6 stitches and we want to end so that we can have 10. You knit a hair clip using just 10 stitches. You end another one, you insert, wrap the yarn, pull backwards, and then you wrap again, then you knit a second stitch. That is how you hand the stitches. There are other ways of adding, but that is how I do it, and that's what I want to show you for now. You wrap that way like that. You want to have 10 stitches. Let me see if they're enough. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So they are not enough. We add one more this way, turn, it is enough. We need a few more rows. Hair clipped will take just a few minutes, and therefore for some of you who get discouraged knitting things that take hours and hours, you can try this one. Within a few minutes you will have your end product. Do the approximation of your work by counting the rows that are forming. 1 2 3 4. You can add another one so that you can have 5 rows there, and when we have 5, we'll start casting off. 5 1 2 3 4 5. So we cast off gradually. As we begin a row, knit 2 stitches together. Remember, our gradual casting off is to get this end or that pattern that is there. By knitting 2 stitches together, and then you move on. You knit 2 stitches together, and then you move on knitting. Remember, I said knitting is basically inserting the second needle, wrapping the yarn, and pulling backward. You insert the needle, wrap the yarn, and pull backwards that way. This is Free Knit, your knitting teacher. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can like, you can leave your comment there, and we'll get your feedback. I hope you are enjoying knitting. Everybody can learn how to knit. Everybody can learn how to knit. Everybody can knit. We are casting off. From 10 stitches, we now have 1 2 3 stitches. You can see this is what we have. We'll cast off fully to have 1 2, and finally 1, and finally separate the yarn you need, the last one. You use a pair of scissors to separate the yarn from your work, and then you squeeze like that. Yeah, you can see this is what we have. And at this stage, what I need is to use an ordinary needle to shape it a bit. You can see it's getting shape. I need to use this pin to fix the pin using a needle. I'll fix the pin here. And the reason as to why I want to fix the pin, it is the pin that I will use to attach my ear clip to the head or to the ear. So the pin is very necessary. I can also attach a button. This is an ordinary button. I attach it here. The button is basically to hand onto the beauty of my work. You trim that. You can also trim the ends like that, and here I have the ear clip. I have another ear clip like that. So I hope you have you've loved my work. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for support. You can knit such a ear clip. Thank you for listening.